Tonight, as every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, you can catch NFL Monday QB. And part of the gang is Steve Beuerlein, breaking down things from a quarterback's perspective on CBS Sports Network. And Steve joins us this morning on the show. Steve, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
What do you think about Andrew Luck's comeback this season? Boy, they have protected him well, and he has really shown. Has this been surprising how great he's been recently to you?
Well, I mean, I'd be obviously lying if I said I expected it to go the way that it has and at the level that it has in terms of the last, 6 games. Actually 5 games, I guess. They won 5 in a row?
Yep.
6, what are we at now?
Yep.
I think it's 5, right?
Yep.
But I knew coming into the season, and I had the Colts late in the year last year, and that was when they were trying to decide whether it was worth bringing him back at the end of the year or not. And I strongly felt that the right thing to do was to wait because there was nothing to play for at that point, and just let him get that extra 7 months or six months of just rehabbing and getting himself healthy. And when they went into the off season, I truly was hoping that they would sign Frank Reich as the head coach because I know Frank well, and I thought that he would be a great fit for Andrew. And when it all kind of happened, I was like, I think he's going to come back and he's going to just really, really reestablish himself as one of the top guys. And I just so excited to see it happen. Obviously, even the first part of the year when they weren't winning, you could see that he was back to his old self. And I really felt like it was just a matter of time before things started popping. And then, the way that Frank has just slowly built this thing, and the confidence up front now with what they've got, you can just see Andrew looks like a totally different player than what he was, prior to his last snap before, finally sitting out. And I'm just very excited for Andrew, very excited for Frank, and it's fun to watch because he's a very, very special talent.
Steve Beuerlein joins us this morning on the show. NFL Monday QB tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS Sports Network. Lamar Jackson, they're 2-0 with Lamar Jackson. Do you think that if Joe Flacco is healthy, that John Harbaugh should stick with Lamar Jackson, or should they go back to Flacco?
I think they're going to stick with Lamar Jackson. I'm a Flacco fan. I like Joe Flacco. I know it's been a struggle, the last couple of years in terms of just his consistency and them, not making the playoffs and the struggles that they've had. But when you have a quarterback, first round draft choices, comes in and goes 2-0 and has generated the kind of excitement that Lamar Jackson has, I think you have to stick with him. You can very easily justify if he does start to slip up a little bit, even if it's before an actual loss happens. If Lamar Jackson is struggling and the game is still within reach, I think you can justify going to Joe Flacco even this coming week because of his Super Bowl pedigree and because of the things he's done for that organization. So I do think you try to ride the wave of Lamar Jackson, what he's brought in terms of excitement and enthusiasm. I think the team believes in him, and I think you got to just see where he can take this thing.
Be the Surgeon General here. Go underneath the hood and tell me what is wrong with the Green Bay Packers. What is wrong with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, that's a great question. Obviously a very disappointing story the way this thing has evolved, and there's some deeper problems there. I think Aaron is trying to do the best that he can to keep stoic and keep from really letting on what really is at the root of the problem from his perspective. But he's just not very good at hiding it. So, some of these guys, the Drew Breeses of the world, the Tom Brady's, and Ben Roethlisberger, every once in a while he'll break it down a little bit in terms of showing some emotion and being a little bit too honest. But these guys all do have the ability to put on that happy face and kind of, play the company role, the company line role, and say the things that need to be said in order to just keep the thing going in the right direction so you can get the problems corrected. But Aaron's not that guy, and so he's obviously frustrated. He's not playing well, and I really do think that there are some deeper issues between he and McCarthy, and the team just around him is a team that is so dependent on him playing absolutely phenomenally every week that it just is. I think it's just too much pressure, even for the guy that we all consider to be the best quarterback playing right now. If you're expecting him to have that kind of a game every single week, it's just asking too much. And he's cracking a little bit right now. I don't think there's any doubt that he's still Aaron Rodgers, and he'll come back strong at some point. It's just a matter of when that is and what the exact situation is going to be.
That frustration you're mentioning, what specifically do you think his frustration is over?
Well, it's over not winning, and number one, that's the obvious answer. I think even if things aren't perfect in terms of what they're doing offensively, or if he's not 100% happy with some of the inner workings of the organization, I think if you're winning, that's a Band-Aid, and it allows you to keep moving forward and keep things positive, and you can put your personal frustrations aside if the W's are stacking up. When there's no relief in sight, and when you're week by week slowly drifting out of the playoff picture, it becomes harder and harder, and especially for a guy who has a hard time covering it up when he's not happy. It's a challenge, and so I really don't know what the other problems are internally, but there's obviously a disconnect somewhere, and we'll probably never know exactly what it is, but you can just tell that there's too many negative vibes that are coming out of that camp right now, and I truly believe that a change is going to occur after the season.
Check out Steve Beuerlein and the rest of the crew. Adam Schein and Company, NFL Monday QB, airing tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the CBS Sports Network. Steve, it's always good to catch up, my man. You be well. We'll be watching tonight.
Okay, Dave. Take care, buddy. We'll see you. Thanks.
You too. Steve Beuerlein joining us this morning on the show.